Hi, this is Brandon with Precision Defensive Solutions, and today I want to talk a little bit about the elements of personal protection. Stay tuned. Let's start talking a little bit about personal protection and what that means and what that actually looks like. Some people talk about it as being self-defense and being defined as just defending defending oneself, but there's so much more to personal protection than just defending yourself or defending your loved ones, and there's so much more to think about when we're actually starting to train it and understand the elements of it. So the first element of personal protection I want to talk about is prevention. The simple fact of it is you win every fight you don't get into. So the more that you can avoid, the better off you are. And honestly, the more training you get will help with that prevention because your awareness will increase. Now, as we're talking about awareness how and awareness where. I don't want you to think of awareness of being paranoia, because then you're not going to enjoy your life, and that's not good. But you can be very aware of things and train yourself to become very aware of things that are happening around you, that, you know, and catching small little cues that may raise your awareness, but just enough that you catch those cues and you can still enjoy your life. But being paranoid is not a good thing, okay? I know a guy that used to carry, you know, a Glock 19 and had a full magazine in it and one in the pipe, and so he had 16 in the gun, and he had 3 magazines for reloads. Plus he carried a small little .38 revolver in his pocket and 3 different knives. To me, that's the level of paranoia, and I really don't think that's a good idea, because that's just not good. The next element that I want to talk about is preparation and prevention. So how do we prepare in prevention? Well, when we're talking about home security, you know, having lights on our house, motion sensored lights, motion detectors on cameras, and having cameras, good door locks and window locks, you know, a ring system or an alarm system like Ring or Simply Safe or something like that, I think is an outstanding tool. We live in an age that we can really do things to help secure our home that can really help prevent you know, crime inside our home, just with motion detectors and motion censored cameras and being able to communicate back and forth, things like that. So I think that's one of the things that we can do. But when we're out in public, how do we prepare for that and you know, in prevention? Well, number one, carry your tools. You know, if you've got a concealed handgun license, or if CWP or CPL or whatever it is in your state, and you're allowed to legally carry a firearm concealed, carry it. Honestly, that's part of being prepared, and I think that's a whole lot of prevention there too. But carry an OC spray. You will probably, in any case, you'll probably use an OC more than you'd use a firearm. So absolutely carry a good OC spray. We recommend Palm brand. We do sell Palm, and you know, and of course, if you're not near us, you can get it on Amazon too. They're like $12, $13 a can. They're well worth the money. But you know, little things like that, and blending that into your everyday awareness makes a big difference. I mentioned a little bit ago about recognizing indicators. People that are out looking to commit crimes or looking for victims, their body language are telltale signs. The way they're looking, the way they're acting, there's just all kinds of indicators that are out there that, can, if you know what you're looking for, kind of make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Or if you get a creepy feeling, trust that feeling, because that's probably, it's probably true. Okay, step number 2 of personal protection. Let's talk about evasion. So when we're looking at about evasion, so we've recognized that something's not right and that person's walking on the sidewalk towards us, as an example, or we're out in the mall and they're walking towards us and something just doesn't seem right. If we can change our path and go the other direction, maybe where there's more people around, or if we're in a mall, go into a store where there's more people, that can help prevent becoming a victim of crime. In turn, not having to use our tools that we have on us. So that's one way that we can evade. Another way is if we just recognize that there's something wrong and we really don't have anywhere to go, but we just look them straight in the face. Not with a challenging look, but with confidence, just kind of like, hey buddy, I recognize that you're there, I see you, I understand what you're thinking, go somewhere else. A lot of times that can sway somebody from picking you as their target and going on to somebody else. And I really hate to say let them go to someone else, but let them go to somewhere else. Because the unfortunate thing is you can't help everybody, and everybody really is their own first responder. So if you're prepared and you prevent it from you or your family being a target and they go to somebody else, then that person really needs to be just as prepared. The unfortunate thing is everybody seems to think that they live in this little bubble and crime doesn't happen and that they'll never become a victim. And the fact of the matter is, those are the people that become victims. Those of us that recognize that there's things out there and we're aware of them and we recognize those cues, have a less chance of becoming a victim. Not that we won't become a victim, but we have a less chance because we're looking at that evasion and prevention measures. So let's talk about de-escalation a little bit. That seems to be the big buzzword in the media today. We need to de-escalate it if somebody's attacking us. We don't need to fight back. We can do this or we can do that and we can stop them. Number one, full stop. You are not going to de-escalate anybody. You can help talk to them and help them de-escalate themselves, but you are not going to de-escalate the situation yourself. Okay, somebody who is hyped up on something or truly intent on doing harm, you're not going to change their mindset whatsoever. So keep that in mind. Okay. Now, understanding how to de-escalate is a major factor, right? So a lot of people will say, hey man, calm down. Well, that's not going to cause anybody to calm down. In fact, anything, it's going to escalate the situation. But if you talk to somebody like your buddy, you care about them, you show care for that person, that may be enough for them to actually calm down and de-escalate the situation themselves, so that you can gain control of the situation. Just understand the things that you say can have the complete opposite effect of what you expect it to have. So if you're going to talk about de-escalation, understand how to de-escalate, understand how to talk to the person, how to avoid, getting into situations of arguments or verbal altercations with this person. Recognize if they are not calming down, that you may have to escalate to a different point, but you need to be able to draw that line of how far will you go before you actually institute using an OC or a firearm or physical force or however, whatever the situation dictates. But you need to draw that line and understand where that line is yourself, because de-escalation does not work most of the time, and it's really unfortunate.